Hey crew, tonight we're going back to June 2019 when Katie Joy used to, well, co-host sort of with Kyle Curtis. And this is around the time when Tati Westbrook was sending her a cease and desist that she was ignoring because of her PATHEOS article. Yes. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. Grab a drink. I don't know what you do. Grab a drink, go to the toilet, whatever.
I can't think. What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? I can't. What am I supposed to do?
Hey, Cactus crew and anyone new. How you guys going? I hope you guys are going really well. Thanks for coming back to my channel. Well, welcome back to my channel, I should say. Still working on the intro. It's just the tail end bit where I've got to use the mouse because I'm not good at driving and talking, and that's my issue. And why am I telling you? Because, well, I'm being transparent. I can't even say the word properly anymore. But how are you guys holding up? You're not being swamped. You're not drowning in the fucking out there in the world. Not out there in the world, but out there in Katie's world. Well, it's a lot. It's a lot. But we're used to it. But I'm best. I'm totally more comfortable in the years in Katie's past than in her present, because yeah, who wants to be in her present? Who wants to be in her present? Hands up. Okay, so yeah, like I said, we're going back. We're going to watch the Smoking Nun episode. But before I get into that, I just want to remind everyone that everything I say is my own opinion, and that I really do encourage all of you, every time I do a video, just check out the description box, because there's so much more information down there, more links, timestamps, especially when I go live. The replay crew living their best life. Seriously, they just come back, timestamps, boom, boom, boom. You know, get past all my bulldang. Also, you can find the link if you keep scrolling. You find the Cactus, and that's the link to join the Cactus contributors. And it's also pinned in the chat if you're over there. If you're in there, oh gosh, come on, brain. Why does my brain always want to vacate? It's a struggle. Yeah, and also, so the Cactus contributors, they get extra content, the badge, and shout outs. And tonight we've got a newbie. Oh, thank you so much to Wicked Tricks. I love the name too. Thank you so much for becoming a contributor. I really do appreciate it. And yes, you've also found your way down another path, and I appreciate that too. And thanks for being so nice and kind. And well, everyone is, aren't they? And that's the good thing about like this whole situation. Like Katie calls us haters and that, because that's her only word. She thinks she's being, everyone hates her. I wish I hated her, but no. You know, just brought such a good bunch of people together, because we really are a good bunch of people. And yeah, but the Cactus contributors are the better kind. Thanks so much, Wicked Tricks. Cactus High 10, have a good day or night. I don't know what time zone you're in, but we will get to know each other. Okay, guys, yeah, so there's 4 like kind of timestamps that I want to point out in this live. Like eventually we do get to the bullying, but yeah, it covers a lot, because like I said, this is around the time when Katie So let's see it, June 18, 2019. I know we got to put up like, oh, I can't be down the bottom. I'm blocking her. I am too close. What other options have we got here? Oh, then it makes the screen light. Oh, is that one? Is it okay like that? Because I feel like I'm way too close. Unless, because I feel like my box needs to be there. Like I want a box. I don't know. Oh, no, I don't like that one. Okay. Oh, I like that one. Okay, guys, sorry. Oh, should I just stay here? I can't do it. It's too close for fucking comfort. Okay. Just while I'm trying to figure out my box situation. So what are we doing? Yes. The first, so we're going to go in order. Obviously, the first bitch is going to be talking about Tati sending her the cease and desist for the article that she wrote. I don't know if I've gone through it on my channel, but I think I have. But I will post it. I'll link them down below. I'll link the first article, the unedited one, and then I'll link the edited one. So you can see, like, it was her first time that she was ever told, you've got to have source to back that up. It's where she went through James Westbrook's whole thing. And should I do the whole link? Do I need to do a link of who Kyle Curtis is? So he's from the Non Sequitur show. Well, originally started off with the Non Sequitur show, co-hosting it with Steve McCray. And then they brought on Katie onto the Non Sequitur show to do a piece on Jilly Juice. And then her and Kyle became best mates, because that's what happened when like leaves branch off each other. Like two leaves on one stem. That happened with Kyle and Katie. And then, so she wasn't actually the co-host of The Smoking Nun, but she was a regular guest on there. And this is how they bloomed. And she was the one defender really in Kyle's corner. And then it ended up being, he was a fraud. Well, he ended up, having to pay back Steve McCray half the money for the Non Sequitur show. And went to court for, and anyway, where are we? We're going to press play. I feel like am I on the stool? I'm on a stool and my feet don't touch the ground. That's the feeling I feel with my box here. Well, let's see how I go with my box here. It's already thrown me off. I'm not in my comfort zone. Fucking timestamps, I tell ya. Living their best life.
Okay. Let me see if that maybe works. I turned down the resolution on your end just a little bit. Maybe that will.
Look, now I'm not.
Now you're good. Now
yes.
you're good.
Now I'm good.
Stable.
Okay. Thank you.
So, did anything exciting happen with you this past week?
I just got 2 letters from lawyers threatening to sue me, so nothing new.
For what reason? And who? Are you able to say who?
Tati Westbrook.
Oh, you got a big fish going after you.
Yeah. Yep.
So how did you get involved in the middle of this drama?
Well, so I've been covering it because she sells these like crazy wooey vitamins, and she has been like bullying this other influencer, or she hasn't been. She did a whole video, and if anyone lives under a rock, they should know that the whole thing went viral, and it was like 70 million views, and I just started covering the story, and then I started sort of digging into the past because so many questions were left unanswered, and I wrote an article that kind of upset them, and got 2 really aggressive letters to my publisher for cease and desist, and I took the article offline for a couple days, and I reformatted it, and then I dropped it again today with a lot more receipts and a lot more sources so that they can't, and I took out some of the verbiage that they thought was whatever, but it's like they don't want anything online that's like doesn't fit their narrative that she's like this wholesome person, and you can't force someone to take something offline just because it's not favorable.
Right. Yeah.
But she this is also, exactly what she's doing with Marvon McCray's family, digging up everyone's criminal past. That's what she did with James Westbrook, like stuff from his 20s when he was 17 and he was caught with like weed. Like she wrote about that in her PATHEOS article. She was going after, Tati, but then she's digging into her dad and, couldn't find anything on her dad. So her dad must be in the mafia, just making shit up like she does. And I think this might have been the first time in her writing career that she had some editor looking over her work and was like, this is like a public figure. Where the fuck is your respect? And why the fuck are you slandering her husband? Oh, yes. Look at her. She's just so fucking, I prefer this angle, though. I prefer this angle than the, I want to see the door. It makes it so much more like I can see my escape route.
Yeah. So you've had everybody and their brother after you here lately, haven't you?
Mm-hmm. I was talking to my so the crazy thing is, you guys, is BeliefNet is the company that owns PATHEOS, and they're like this really ultra right conservative like Christian media company. But like the people that work there are like super cool. It's really weird. And the guy that's like my guy, his name is Phil, and I was like talking to him today, and he was just like, well, you're just one of those journalists where you poke the bear a lot.
Yeah.
And the type of work that you do exposes things and brings things to light that people don't want brought to light. So the nature of the beast is that you're going to upset people, and some people are going to fight back.
Sure.
And you just have to get used to it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but those poke the bear journalists, they have like knowledge of boundaries and like morals. They have a belief and moral system. You can't share everything and think everything's fucking fine and dandy and then wonder what the fuck. You've shared everything. Like, fuck.
Well, keep rocking the boat. I think that's great.
I feel like if you get someone, I feel like if you're like, think of it in this context. She has 70 million views of that video, and her average video on YouTube gets about 1 million views. My article had 30,000 views. She was worried about 30,000 views to 1 million views that she gets a day.
She's probably a narcissist. So.
Yeah. It's nuts.
Well, just keep doing.
Sorry, I keep jumping in, but Katie, I just want to say, like, yeah, like your haters, I'm doing ET quake fingers around there. You believe that that's worth fighting. What's that cliche I could add in there? Like tooth and nail or something? Like to the end, like put so much energy in to stop what? Couple thousand views? Where's the logic in that, Thompson? Like you're going after channels that have like 10,000 like subs. You're this huge channel. Why the fuck do you care? Your platform's bigger, and then you shine your light on these. Like it's ridiculous. You don't understand your own fucking platform. I'm speaking to you like 2022, but yeah, this is 2019. June as well, June 2019. And fuck, I'm not even looking at Kyle's hair. What the hell is that on top? God, he reminds me of what's that? Is it something Bravo? Is it Johnny Bravo? Oh, I feel bad. But doesn't he have that hair, the cartoon?
Doing what you're doing. I think it's great. So let's start out with nonsense news, and let's find out what's going on in the world of headline stupid. First story: a male student used Snapchat's gender filter to pose as an underage girl who was. So
I've already got like sort of timestamps, so we're going to jump ahead to because there's ones to get through. We don't want to sit here all day and just oh shit, what was that? We're just going to jump to this MVP story. Oh my God, what happened?
No arrests have been made, in case you're wondering.
About the mum who feeds her autistic children bleach to cure them. But yeah.
This is now the last two stories, as always, are going to be the ones that make you angry.
Before you start on this, I'll say something.
Sure.
The bleach stuff, I saw this article, I got the NBC people to sort of like get interested in writing this, and then they didn't include me or whatever. But anyway, I have made it onto the Hall of Shame in Carrie Rivera's her website. Like all of the like culty people that are into Miracle Mineral Solution, I have officially been like assigned the Hall of Shame for writing about the dangers of it.
Congrats.
Yes.
Congratulations. That's nice work. Hall of Shame member there.
Yeah.
You get a trophy?
I don't know. God damn it, that bitch is against bleach.
We need to find out if you get a trophy. Display that.
Seriously.
Display that shit. This story is it's just gonna it's just one of those. It'll just piss you off. Fake science led a mom to feed bleach to her autistic sons, and police did nothing to stop her. Laurel Austin documented her son Jeremy's first dosing of chlorine dioxide on YouTube. In the 30-second video, broadcast to 4,465 subscribers, Jeremy, who's 27, sits at a kitchen table as his mother narrates his mood. Then his arms seem to involuntarily twist around one another, and he screams into his forearm before taking a bite of a banana. Here's to hoping and praying, she says. Austin is a photographer in Kansas and a mother of 6, 4 of whom are adults with autism. According to her Facebook post, she has tried almost every fad online to cure the autism, and now has resorted to treatments for heavy metal poisoning, hormone therapies used in chemical castration, and natural remedies such as cilantro and algae. For the last year, according to her social media posts and documents from a police investigation, Laurel...
I didn't think you'd dribble on for this long. Fuck. Maybe I should have watched this a bit longer. I thought 16 was the fucking timestamp. I'm watching Katie. She's not even listening either. She's tuned out. She's trying to look at things, other things, anything. Also, I just want to know how you got the nuns to smoke. I want smoke moving on my screen. How do I get an extra box and just put it in there? I wish I was one of those boxes, though.
has been giving 2 of her adult sons, Jeremy and Joshua, chlorine dioxide or bleach. The FDA warns that the solution amounts to industrial bleach, and doctors say it can cause irreparable harm when ingested. And this goes on. Basically, what's happening is that the police aren't getting involved, and they're not giving the father a clear indication as to why. Do you have any guesses as to why the police in this case wouldn't get involved?
Well, see, he's what, 27?
Yeah.
I'm sure part of it has to do with the whole, like, I'm guessing part of it has to do with, like, it's a social services thing, maybe. I don't know.
Wait, whose name did you just say that did the Hall of Shame?
Carrie Rivera. Okay,
they mentioned her in this. It says that according to investigation notes, after speaking to Bradley Austin, the officers went to Laurel Austin's home. She told the officer she was following Rivera's chlorine dioxide protocol, and she'd seen improvement in her son's behavior since she'd begun giving them the solution. The police both observed both Joshua and Jeremy and determined they seemed to be happy and in good health, and neither appeared to be in pain.
I've never seen Katie brush her hair. Have you? I've never seen it. It's glorious. But yeah, her Wi-Fi camera thing is like always fucked up in all of these streams. Like there's other ones. Like she would be frozen for ages, just stuck in one spot. Like what was that thing that went on, you know, and you had to like pose? Oh, I can't remember. You know, on social media. Yeah, Katie's already doing it back in 2019. But yeah, her Wi-Fi thing, guess where it is? And it's remained there, and it's still there now in 2022. It's in the basement, so it's under her. I don't know why she doesn't have like a separate, you know, an aerial extension one plugged into this room. But yeah, it's downstairs amongst all that shit, like in the basement, you know, next to the hot water system and stuff. This is perfect for a signal. I bet Toad set it up because that's what he did, right? That's what he was, wasn't he? Oh no, was it? Yeah, was it telecommunications? Does that involve internet? Oh fuck, my brain hurts.
Oh boy. I mean, like, do you really have? Even if they're adults, though, right? Yes, they are adults, but they obviously need. They're both autistic, so it's not like they can make every decision for themselves that's in their best interest. You know what I'm saying? So shouldn't that come into play here, Katie?
Like, it's a gray area, and
it's just so fucked.
Hello? I can hear you. Yeah. I can hear you fine. Katie?
Oh my God, it's scary. Katie, are you there?
Katie? Let's see. Katie, you might want to close out and come back in, see if you can refresh. Hit the refresh button. Hit the refresh button. Since that you're
okay, so we're just going to jump ahead. I don't know why I had that marked down like as a timestamp on here. I don't know what I got out of it. Maybe that, just the fucked upness of the screen. But yeah, now we have the dogs in, and this is where we start talking about bullying on social media. So let's see what Katie has to say about that. But yeah, first we got to live through a dog thing. It's gonna be fucked.
thinking.
Yeah. Frida, stop.
So we're talking about, oh, hey, Frida. We're talking about, as you can see right here to my left, we're going to be talking about. Oh, my God. That's adorable.
Oh, my God. Now the dogs are going to fight.
That's adorable. We're going to be talking about cyberbullying, hate crimes.
Oh, my mouth is just like really wide open now. Like that was a bit rough. She pushed her too, like pushed Frida away. And then before she brought her up on her lap, was like, no, go away. And then show off, look at me and my dogs and how much they love me. And then just throws the dog on the floor like she did the cat. Oh my gosh. I'm like, I hate it with the dogs. Yeah, there's two dogs. There's Sweetie and Frida. Sweetie is the puppy mill pup, and Frida also. They both have trauma, both rescues, both hunting dogs. And they say don't have these dogs with cats. Also, I've been looking up Minnesota laws on how many pets you can have, and Katie's got too many. That's right. We can go over that another time. Remind me, someone. But yeah, like 5 maximum. But like, you know, you're allowed like 3 dogs and maybe like 1 cat, or like, you know, 2 dogs, 2 cats, or 3 cats or something. But yeah, not 2 dogs and 4 cats.
Because it's Pride Month, and a lot of people, especially young people, we're going to be focusing on what a lot of people go through in social media with cyberbullying and what is a hate crime, what are the statistics on it. But the question that I have to start out things, Katie, is
and just in case you're new here, I'll just let you know why the dog's in the room, because the dogs, I don't know if it's happened yet, because it happened around the time when she made up the lie about her neighbors coming for her for the pride flag and ripping it, because that never happened. The reason the cops came due to her neighbors was her dog's constantly barking outside all day, and she was doing nothing about it. And so instead of the neighbors, you know, calling the cops anymore about the barking, she brings them inside. Yeah, rather than teaching her dogs not to bark or just fuck, she keeps them inside 24/7. And like I said, Sweetie is an ex-puppy mill pup. If you know about puppy mills, they're dogs that live their life in a cage and then never touch grass. They're just bred. So she was bred, and then she was older than 3 years old or whatever, so they had to get rid of her. And then ends up with Katie, who now Sweetie has jumped the fence multiple times. She's also one of the barkers, really main barkers. But yeah, she's jumped the fence multiple times and bolted it down the road. And so now the puppy mill pup has to be hooked onto the yard wire. Still not fucking free. And it shits me, because these are coonhound hunting dogs. They need so much exercise. They are stuck in this room, and every time we watch Katie, they're sleeping. Why are they asleep? In my opinion, she drugs them. Just, that's my opinion. These are they're just not fucking, oh my God. Plus, Frida is the alpha dog. Katie lets Frida jump all over her, but that is Frida asserting her dominance, the fucking leader of the pack. Katie is not the leader of the pack. She thinks she is, but She doesn't give these dogs any boundaries. They're confused. She also doesn't provide them water. There's no water in this room. I've never seen it. I've never heard a dog drinking. And so much. I will link my dog videos down below. Once I get on the dog subject, it's really hard for me to stop because I feel like that's something. And then she's arcing up today about the cat. The cat, I don't know which cat it was, but I remember it was either the dog attacked the cat or something, but there was a cat that she posted and it had this huge gash in its like face, in its neck, and it was like open. So while she's sitting there taking photos and sharing this, she should be at the fucking vet with her like cat. Oh, it's just fucked, man. And then she locks the cats up at night in cages that are in her bedroom. And then in her bedroom is the kitty litter as well, because she's too lazy. Everything needs to be in arm's reach. Amber Portwood. God, imagine if Amber Portwood had cats.
Is social media more of a net positive or a net negative on people's lives? What's your opinion on that?
I think it depends. I think you use social media, and I think, you know, if you're engaging in a positive manner on social, it can be very positive for you. But I also think that when you're in more anonymous sort of social media settings and it's like the Wild West, like Twitter and YouTube, it's kind of like it can easily become very toxic, and you can be ganged up on and you can get, you know, attacked. And I think specifically people are very good at trolling, and they can punch you where it hurts. They know your weaknesses. They know the words to say. And I think when it comes to kids that are like in LGBTQ, it's like they're gonna go first for the sexuality. Yeah,
and it happens. There's an uptick this, you know, in these months. One of the downsides or the cons to having something as, you know, as great as everyone celebrating Pride Month is that it also paints sort of a target on people, especially young people who are part of the LGBTQ community, because during this month.
Before we get into that, I just wanted to touch on Katie and her troll groups and how they target. I just want to remind you, Katie, that it's so weird to hear you talking all the terms that are now so, you know, used every day. This is like 2019, before you'd even before I'd cross paths with you. Because I think I crossed paths with you around November of 2019, whenever the Amber thing happened. Which I think has always been your biggest downfall, to come across teen mum people that have watched Janelle. I mean, Janelle was the entree to use. Like, Janelle was the 101 narc lesson we needed to watch. And then we saw it in you. You know, even worse. Like, who would you get to babysit your kid, Janelle or Katie? I'm fucking Janelle. As long as she stays in her she shed and there's no greenery in there, you know, it'd all be good. But Katie, no way, fuck. What was I doing? What was I saying? I can't remember now. Throwing myself off. Oh, did I have a point? Yeah. The lady that lost her child during labor, free labor group or whatever. Yeah, Katie had a troll group back then, and they were like against that, and they all started attacking this woman. And yeah, she was the leader of the troll group then, making those attacks on a vulnerable woman who had just lost her child. But that wasn't the issue with Katie. She didn't care about that. The real issue there was that the lady didn't go to the hospital. She was stupid. She broke the rules. She went against the rules. Katie's the rule maker.
There is an increase in hate crimes, bullying, physical assaults, threats, and that's a lot to, you know, a lot of people are as simple as you've heard this thing. Why don't we have a straight Pride Month? That sort of thing. Like it stems from that. Like people are upset that a certain group of people get a month that they are celebrating who they are, and so that entices them to start putting people down, and it just it's a bad situation.
It's the people that do this are the same ones that say, like, no, all lives matter, you know, or you know, why do we need a Black History Month, or you know, why do we need and they're the same people that call us snowflakes and social justice warriors, and yeah.
Right, and you have to be careful, like in those. The thing about the.
Oh, sorry, but what's Frida's just laying on the ground there? Like, how did she go just in 1 minute, just boom, straight asleep? This is Katie dropped her on the ground on her head. Look how tight her collar is.
The people who are in the alt-right are very, very, very good at spinning a narrative that suits them. And it's dog whistling is the term that's used. But if you think about it, saying the thing, you know, like all lives matter, that's something that everybody without any context could get behind. You know what I mean? Like, yes, all lives do matter. But what groups like the alt-right do is they couldn't come out and say Black lives don't matter or Black lives suck. So what they do is they spin it in a way that is very nuanced and still gets what they're trying to, you know, get across, but in a way that's acceptable or seems acceptable, like hearing white lives matter or the all lives matter to counter the Black lives matter. What it does is it removes what the Black Lives Matter movement started for in the first place.
Right.
So you have to be careful about things like that. Katie, I've got a bunch of like statistics and stuff that I can go through, or did you want to?
Oh, I'm really bad. I'm really bad. I'm just focusing on the dogs now, but I don't know if you can see, but look at the collar, how it's pulled down, and that's the fur. Look how tight it is. Am I seeing things? Man, I just want to cry. The dogs.
Start with something on the cyberbullying end.
You know, I've just been stuck in this very like toxic story that's been, you know, all over YouTube, and it's just becoming more and more prevalent and more obvious that all of this like bullying of James Charles is rooted in homophobia, and it's, you know, people have gotten so nasty, and it's gotten to the point where I truly think that some people, they hate him so much that they almost want to make him kill himself, or they want him to be like harmed. And it's.
Do you want to explain who James Charles is for anyone that may not know who that is?
So yeah, if you're not living in the beauty world, and I think people that follow my channel know, because you know on my channel we cover a lot of like cosmetic woo and just sort of misinformation in the makeup world, and there's a sort of subset of like influencers that make videos, right? And James Charles is he's 20 years old. He is like huge. He has like almost 16 million like followers or subscribers. He's got 16 million on Instagram, and he's just like, I don't know, he's like he wears makeup. He was the first
male cover girl, right?
Yes. Yep. He was the first male like cover girl. He is very, you know, he's very openly gay. He's very he's very like, you know, like he's pretty, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
He wears beautiful makeup, and he's very feminine, and it's made him, and he also has this very charismatic, like sort of out there personality, and people either like really love him or they hate him. And they started this whole thing like last month where they were accusing him of trying to make gay men or straight men gay by like coercing them and manipulating their sexuality. And it's like,
And now we know that everything Tati said is true. And that is not just James Charles who preys on straight men. There's another big makeup influencer. I can't say anything properly when I talk about them. There's too many fucking Eves in Jeffrey, you know, fuck. Yeah, and then Jeffrey has the most money and is able to manipulate people into turning against, you know, people. So, fuck. It's disgusting, isn't it, though? That, like, Tati it was her story. It was her story, and everyone had something to say because they did not like what she said about James Charles, even though it was true. Years later, was it worth destroying Tati, taking her down? Like, yeah, there was a whole big hate, but no one took it where Katie took it. No one went real life. She just, her hate boner. Like, she doesn't have a radar to let her know that she's crossing a boundary. And I can't even imagine living life not knowing if you're crossing boundaries. And then not knowing that, like, a cease and desist is a serious fucking thing that someone has to send it to you 4 times to get the fucking picture. And then she didn't even answer the door when Tati served her. They went to serve her at her house and she didn't answer the door, so she had to be served electronically. Oh, Katie.
That tale is old and you know, stereotype that the gay guy is out to like make the straight guys be gay.
It's number 3 on the gay agenda. Just to put it on there.
Yeah, yeah. And it's created this just mass, like, even though the accusations were completely proven false, even though the person that, like, the Tati Westbrook is the one who dropped these allegations, and she said that he coerced a waiter in Seattle. But then the waiter came forward and he even made an apology video even yesterday. He uploaded it yesterday and basically said that, like, he led James on. He was doing it for clout. He was faking being gay to get, like, something out of it. And it's like, it doesn't matter. Now everyone has branded him a sexual predator. And it's the sick double standard because his behavior in terms of, like, how some females are with men, it's not even as aggressive, you know, it's not even as like, some girls can be really forward, right? And like showing guys they're hot, you know, but because he's gay, that's super over the line. So, you know, made me uncomfortable, you know? And so it's just created this very toxic dynamic. And now everyone's labeling him a sexual predator. And even though it's not true, and the bullying continues. And drama channels that are in the YouTube, like in the YouTube beauty world, are so toxic, and they're playing up this narrative. And even other gay men are calling him a predator. It's just, even like, I've realized that there's even homophobia within the gay community. It's sick.
Oh, what do you say to that? She's just assuming. She doesn't know anything about the makeup community. Back then, she had a like hate boner for Marlene. Like, fuck. It's just, oh, fuck. Jumps from person to person without understanding anything. What do we do? Do we jump forward?
The thing that, I mean, and you can see there's examples of this in, I think, every community. I mean, even close to home here, the narrative can get put out there that may be false. Maybe not everyone has all the information, and they run with the first thing that they hear, and it's a snowball effect. And so what happens is, because a large group of people rally behind something, it gets carried away, and everybody just sort of follows that. It's just a natural, I think, thing with people. But I wanted to, like, if you look over to beside me to on the, like right here, I've got a bunch of what I'm going to be going through in like infograph form, so that if you guys can follow along, or just read through as we go along. But these are some pretty.
I'm sorry.
I was looking at Marilyn Monroe going, what? So he's got his own box with his stuff in there. Oh, how are you doing that? I thought he was pointing to Marilyn Monroe. I know, right, Will? Homophobia in the gay community. Only from someone who might be faking that they are gay. Like, well, no, we won't go there. The smoking nun. Katie, do you feel like a smoke?
How do I get this toolbar off the side?
If you move your mouse, when that little when the toolbar pops up at the bottom, hit the very last one, the very last option or the icon. That should take it away. But it says how we're talking about cyberbullying, and these are statistics for people who are in school, like your high schoolers, because I think that's where the statistics lie. And the people that are affected the most with this, they're the people who are constantly obsessed with the likes and the who's following me, who's looking at this. It really affects people growing in that sort of mindset growing up. And 34% of people who are surveyed have admitted to experiencing a form of cyberbullying. 12% of students admit to cyberbullying someone in their life. 16.9% of students profess to have been cyberbullied in the past 30 days. Now, the trend of this, the prevalence, is that from 2007 to 2016, when these studies were conducted, it has almost doubled. In 2007, it was 18%. Now it's up to 34%. And I think that's because almost everything that we do now is online. And there's this new word that people put out there called FOMO. You know FOMO?
Fear of missing out on something.
Yes. So, so people are constantly looking to, and social media is weird because I think it's important, but I also think to a
fear of missing out. Then she goes to her phone, has to check, while I'm doing this, am I missing out on anything else going on? Is this really worth my time? Because I'm fucking bored. I can't believe I've increased it to 1.75 speed. Should I go 2? I mean, I feel like it's not making it faster every time I increase it. It's just stuck on something slower than what I want, because the dogs.
certain extent, it's very destructive to a lot of people's lives that can't handle it in the right way. Like if I know a lot of people that I know personally that paint a view of their life online that's nothing like it is in real life. It doesn't reflect that. And the sheer, like if they don't feel like they get enough likes or hearts or comments on a post that they put on Facebook, it will spin some people into a depression. And I think getting caught up in that, it leads people to be more susceptible to instances of bullying, because when there is pushback, and here's another thing too. I also don't think, while I think that cyberbullying is atrocious, it's a problem and it needs to be addressed. In a lot of cases, I also don't think that the internet is a safe space. I think the internet is a place where people that you don't know are going to be saying things to you, about you, the way you look, the way you talk, the way you move, the every little detail about you is going to be analyzed by people. And under the guise of anonymity, or because some people just don't give a fuck, they're going to tell you things. They're going to cut you down. They're going to insult you. And you have to be able to gauge whether or not the internet is a place that it may be healthy for you in a mindset. So if you are somebody that feels like, every time you go online, you're getting attacked by something, there needs to be, and I don't know how you do this. How would you go offline? Like, you know what I mean? Like, how would you
I don't know.
Not go online? That's an interesting problem. No ideas? You're supposed to solve everything. Oh no.
Is she just not listening? I know it's frozen, but Jesus. Even when the dog is squeaking the toy, she's like, it's the same thing. She just tunes it out. Like she tunes her son out crying when her husband is yelling at her son, and her son's like, I'm hungry. Like no reaction on her face, just like what's happening here. Like Sweetie is the one with the toy. Frida is the one that's asleep. Frida's been in this house for maybe a year, because they got her in 2018. They got Sweetie in 2019. So they've only had her since like February or something. She's still like playful, wants to play and stuff. You'll learn that you need to be sedated in this room. Katie sedates everyone. That's how she controls them. Well, she sedates herself.
I think we lost Katie again. Katie, you cut out on me again. That's okay though. The most common reason behind cyberbullying is relationship issues. So between couples, and then 23% of cyberbullying victims reported the incident to a parent or local authority figure, and 71% of young people admit to being concerned about the impact of cyberbullying. I think that's probably low. It seems low to me. So who are the victims of cyberbullying? 20% of children ages 9 through 11 admit to being cyberbullied. 42% of LGBTQ students profess to have been cyberbullied, a significantly higher rate than for other students. Fortunately, I guess it wouldn't count for me because I wasn't out, but my brother was when we were in school, and he didn't, fortunately, which is, I know this is a rare anecdotal instance, but he didn't get bullied, which was a good thing. So there are instances where it doesn't happen, especially in a small town. It's really strange. Hey, you're back.
I keep that. It says the host keeps kicking me out.
I promise you, I like you here. I'm not kicking you out. I was just going through real quick who's the target of cyberbullying. 90% of students say they've experienced cyberbullying in person. Overweight students are far more likely to be ridiculed. And shockingly, 40% of U.S. adults admit to experiencing a form of cyberbullying.
That doesn't surprise me.
Really?
No, not at all.
Why is that? I'm curious.
I think people are just emboldened by the anonymity of being online, and that the fact that you're never going to see the person face to face, and it's easier to attack someone when you are behind a keyboard.
I guess I don't, maybe and this is, it's going to vary from person to person. I guess like I have, even in the past week, have been on the receiving end of.
Sorry, yeah, if you've just joined us, this is the Smoking Nun. When Katie was on it with Kyle Curtis, June 2019. Talking about cyberbullying. So interesting stuff, although Katie's webcam keeps freezing and we've got the dogs in the room, and looks like there's about to be a fight in the dog situation. But Katie, what are you drinking there, hey? What are you drinking there?
Quite a lot of not so pleasant things, but I don't I wouldn't consider that cyberbullying myself. Maybe it's a subjective. I just think it's people expressing their opinion. But I guess I think
it's like if it continues. But I would say like the behavior that was exhibited towards you was very abusive. Even if people are angry, it's not okay to like lash out and like attack. And like I think part of the problem.
Oh my God! Like Sweetie's fully submitting to Frida, and she's gone for her neck. I can't even listen to Katie because there's dog shit going on. Like I'm gonna lose it in a minute. Oh, do I have to go back? Is Katie saying anything important?
what has, specifically in like online communities, is that it's really easy to get one story. But I'm not talking about like what happens to you. I'm just saying like I see this a lot. Oh my god, my dogs are totally fighting behind me. But you know, you'll get, if there's like a split of any kind, it happens on all kinds of communities, and it's like people get really connected to one person, and then it's like all like everything, all logic, all like emotion takes over, and it takes over all like thinking. And so you're not making rational choices anymore, and you start doing things, and it becomes a mob mentality, which is, I see it all the time. I guess it's
just a subjective opinion.
And that's exactly what's happening with you, Katie. Like I said, you react on impulse, on reaction. Like emotion has a lot to do with your reaction. Whereas if you were smart, like me, for example, I like practice mindfulness every day. My mind is too important to lose it in the kind of shit that you let run through and control you. So with me, I get a choice whether I want to react to that or not, because I've trained my brain to acknowledge the thought but not drown me out. My emotions, I'm able to, it's very clear, it's very present moment. I don't know if you'll ever get there, but you should. But you'll probably put it down to being a crunchy mum, because it's got a bit of meditation in there, which could do you wonders. Oh my God. If you only took maybe 2 minutes to think about stuff before you jumped online and spewed your shit, or took 2 minutes to just step back, reconsider what you're doing is the right thing. I don't think you question your behavior. That's what you should be doing as a journalist. Have you learned? Have you grown? No, you're still repeating the same fucking mistakes over and over. And here you are saying mob mentality, and you react off emotion and it becomes irrational. Well, I guess you can think clearly now, because, like it's a few years, bit more damage to the brain through drinking.
Like I just, me personally, I don't take it as cyberbullying. 40% of all adults though seem really high for me, and maybe again that's just because I look at it differently than I just know that they're assholes on the internet. So, but this is the most surprising thing: 42% of cyberbullying takes place when kids reported this, experienced it on Instagram, 37% on Facebook, and 31% on Snapchat. Instagram being the number, that's shocking.
That doesn't surprise me, because Instagram is like the number one like social media tool for kids, and they do different awful things where they take photos of people and have people vote on stuff, and like who's the ugliest, and like it's just really nasty.
I think Instagram, because there's a lot of revenge porn and the stuff on there that, God, the content, the people that monitor the stuff. What was that on that I watched? Anyway, I can't remember. Katie's making me tune out and my brain's gone mush, and fucking Kyle's not helping. This is just awful. I can't even look at the dogs because they're doing like stuff. They're doing the stuff that's on Instagram.
Wow.
And they have like little group photo areas that you can only invite people into, so people can't see what's going on.
Okay.
And it just, they share photos like of people that like they take photos or they get nudes and stuff. They like that's a really big thing, is that high school boys coerce girls into getting nudes, and then they put them on Instagram, and then the girls are like sexually exploited through their photos being on Instagram. Can you do
nudity on Instagram? I'm not on Instagram. I got off Instagram.
I think they do like blur outs, or
okay.
Like.
What was shocking to me though is that Twitter is not on here, and Twitter to me would be the number one place that you would find. Because Twitter's a fucking dumpster fire.
Like, what is with all the porn on Twitter? I don't get it.
Oh no, I'm fine with the porn on Twitter. I'm talking about.
Are you looking it up, Katie? I don't know if that would be the first thing I'd mention. Like, I don't really notice the porn on Twitter unless you go and seek it out. But maybe that is your thing, because whenever you think that someone is coming at you, like say Suzanne, we'll go back, because Suzanne relates back to your Patheo days. So, when you entered her email address into those porn sites so that she would get all that porn spam just because you felt she crossed you. Yeah, Katie, I got a working memory. This is what it's like to remember way back past yesterday.
Like, I thought that this would be the most common. Well, I guess young people aren't on Twitter, but Twitter is like
the average Twitter user is 55 years old.
Oh God. Oh no, I'm getting old. Yeah. That seems to Twitter's a virtual dumpster fire, so that was shocking me, but it makes sense because there's not There's kids age now. Social media.
I don't know. I kind of disagree with that because Twitter, like, you know, I feel like, well, I don't know. What do I know, really? Katie knows everything.
Use has been found to correlate with mental illness. Mental issues like eating disorders and sleep disturbances. Cyberbullying victims are twice as likely to consider suicide. Oh man, they're going strong.
Oh, I know they're going nuts right now, guys.
Frida,
stop.
calm down.
It's Frida and Sweetie. Oh my god.
Calm down. Oh, evicted.
They're gonna go destroy. Like they're gonna go like eat a shoe or something. You guys, like my dogs always lose their mind at like this time of night.
They were going at it. 10 studies have.
They're going to go eat a shoe or something. What about get the fuck off, end your life, and take your dogs to the park? Throw them a ball back and forth. Make sure that they've run out of energy. Then do not go lay in your bed like you do. But God, man, Toad's going to bring them back in a minute because, you know, during the day, they're not allowed to be out there because the nurse is there with your son who doesn't like the dogs. But you want to keep them. You want to keep all these animals inside. Oh, did I mention the cats are unvaccinated?
Yeah.
Found a link between cyberbullying and depression, and then 5% of cyberbullying victims report self-harm. So victims of cyberbullying are twice as likely to consider suicide. That's a startling statistic, I think.
Okay,
there you go. Now, here's the thing in schools. Where does it take place? 29% in the classroom, 29% in the hallways or locker rooms, or lockers, 23% in the cafeteria, 19% during gym class, and 12.2% torture in the bathroom. I think are you going again? Katie, it's a conspiracy. They just don't want to hear you.
Oh yeah, I forgot that he's you know, his jaw is swinging too. Just from my point of view. God, I just love Katie when she's frozen, but like he knows she's frozen, so why even wait? Like just continue on. You can see she's frozen. You want to sit there and just have, I don't know, your Marilyn Monroe moment in front of the grater. The grater? It's not a grater. Where's that cheese?
I think Tati's got your stream. Let me pull up my other thing here. So there's another group, and I think that this is probably this. Are you here? Yeah, your signal keeps dropping out on this end, Katie. It's saying that it's not picking up a signal from you. Maybe reset your router. So there's a group of people, like when you think about hate crimes and you think about bullying, there are obvious groups of people that come to mind. Obviously, people bully people based on their race, based on their size, based on whether or not they're gay or what have you. But there's a group of people that I wanted to really focus on tonight because it's important that we don't forget this group, and they actually make up a large part of people who receive or are on the receiving end of bullying or hate crimes. Violence against people with disabilities is more widespread than you think, and this is from the Southern Poverty Law Center. This is a story about Jennifer Daughtry, who was 30 years old in Pennsylvania. She had intellectual disabilities. She was smiley and trusting, a Steelers fan who loved dancing, scary movies, auto mechanics, and making friends. Jennifer was about to move out of her parents' house and into her own apartment, which she wanted more than anyone. She wanted independence, meaningful work, love, and a family of her own someday. This is my time to start new for myself.
Of like 4 times greater than the average person, and like 6.
Awful. And what I'm doing is what I want to make sure is like people, when you think about hate crimes and bullying, a lot of people jump to, okay, people will bully you about your race, your size, whether you're gay or not. But a group of people that they don't think about are the people who are disabled.
Oh my God. Yeah. Individuals with disabilities
right.
are bullied at a rate of like 4 times greater than the average person. And like 67% of people that are disabled end up getting bullied at some point.
It's awful. And this story, when I read it, I mean, like I was choked up the first time I read it. And now, I just get that visceral reaction of anger. But Murphy.
I wish that they would just say, like, and a lot of this can start like from the home where the children copy the parents. So it's important to raise your children to be respectful to other children. Like they could say something like that, then just not providing any fucking substance because it's up their nose.
Let me see. Although Jennifer's killers were not charged with hate crimes. They were aggressively prosecuted and received sentences varying from decades in prison on people that are.
If you look at the women with intellectual disability, the incidences of rape and sexual assault are astronomical.
Let's see. Hey, wait, Katie. I'm gonna pull something up.
Fucking astronomical. Katie, I bet that information blew you away. Could add that to your story.
What you can.
I was just gonna say this. I mean, this is one of the reasons why I'm just such an advocate against bullying, because, like, obviously my son has a below normal IQ, and these individuals that have, so there's a population, there's like intellectually disabled, and then there's people that have like lower than normal IQs, and they're considered what are called vulnerable adults because they don't function at the same level that you or I do, but they appear like they do. And so they're extremely easy targets, and they become like terrorized by people. And it's horrible. But in terms of like the severe,
in my opinion, that's not your son. That's you, Katie. You are allowing people to terrorize your mind. You are letting that in. You're not putting up, like, you don't have boundaries yourself. You let everything affect you because you care that much. No one out here in the fucking real world, outside of the funeral waiting room, cares that much about online fucking drama. No one is prioritizing being online than being with their child who you only have minimal years with. Are you okay? I guess you are okay, because you have said you never really wanted children. You only did that so Toad could get his son, blah, blah, blah. And, now that Toad has what he wants, you can disconnect and live your own life. Away, empty, lonely woman, attacking people online. That's what you enjoy. That's what you do every single night. Even if things are nice and silent and calm, you will find drama. You will make up some lie that your son is getting death threats. That's never fucking happened, because who the fuck would do that? No one. Katie, I shared on my Twitter the original, you saying I got swatted and it happened during the Brian Laundrie thing and all that. Only a year later, you were saying it's because of Chrisley, that it was because of Creep Show. You can't rewrite history, Katie Joy, especially when you're a YouTuber, because hello, what you look into, that's recording you. I know. Did you just realize? Oh my gosh. I prefer this. Like, there's no painting, there's no couch. Just get rid of that painting there. But yeah, to the left of her, like here, because I don't know if her son is sleeping in her room yet, but this is her son's room here. And the walls are Bible paper thin. So for her to sit there and go, my son has a lower IQ, he's easily manipulated. He's in this subgroup where, he looks normal, but he's easily manipulated. Katie, I think that's you. That's not your son. You are easily manipulated, and it's so obvious. During this whole McCray thing, who can feed you the most amount of information to make you believe them? Yes. Because what Katie believes is the truth. It's not what the truth is. It's who can convince you is right, whose truth. People use you as a fucking to get their truth out, to use you as a voice. Like Swanson used you. You're still going around saying that you settled because you settled in the TATI lawsuit because it was obvious that you were going to win. No, you sold your source out. That's all TATI wanted. Thank you, Katie, for being fucking transparent, for being a leaf, for bending over backwards, because that's what a reputable reporter is. They never reveal their source. But you did. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Settlement, thank you. And you did lose a lot. A whole fucking YouTube channel and a whole bunch of cash. That was for your son. Crying online. Just like Farrah when you cry because it doesn't move.
Fear abuse, you'll see with like the people that are severely disabled, is like the bullying and like the abuse, it's just neglect.
Mm-hmm. And another shocking thing is, this also comes from the FBI. There was an increase from 2016 to 2017 in hate crimes against people with disabilities. And
she neglects her son. She bullies her son. That's who she sees her son as. What kind of fucking mother says that in a negative light, is able to talk about their child in such a negative light? Even if that is the truth, No mother would say that. It's almost like, I don't know, because just even that last bit that she said, they'll bully through neglect. Are you bullying your son, Katie, to make him act the way you want him to act? Because if he's well, you don't have a fucking story. You don't have something to go, but I'm a medically fragile child's mum. Oh, no, I'm not a narcissist. I'm a loving, caring mother. Everything I do is for my son. He loves dinosaurs, by the way.
The hate crimes committed on the basis of disability increased from 70 reported incidents to 116 between 2016 and 2017. That's a 65% increase in 1 year.
Because President Douchebag on the campaign trail mocked a reporter with a disability. And once he did that, it emboldened all of the people that are on that side of the spectrum to say whatever it is that they want about people with disabilities. I literally just had the most atrocious interaction with one of my neighbors last week, where I was told that if my son has so many issues, he just shouldn't be in school.
What?
And to him, like, people with disabilities are like, they shouldn't be in the community. What? And they're emboldened by a president who doesn't give a shit.
So I guess the another important thing to talk about now with this is what.
But you're a mother and you are repeating what people have said vile shit about your son, and you're repeating it online for another audience to hear with no fucking worry. And you present it and you leave it as what it is. You don't try and say that they're wrong or anything. It's fucking disgusting, man. Like, just fuck. Nothing positive comes out of your, like, fuck, man. The poor child listening to you daily tell him that he has a below average IQ and that he is going to be easily manipulated, that he can't live independently from you. You've got to control his life and you've got to get that income, right, Katie, from having a disabled child. That's why you've got all those government waivers and everything. And the government pays for his food and his feeding tube and everything. You don't have to lift a finger. You've never once sat as a family at the dinner table without mobiles or anything. Everything is done from your drinking chair. Even your child sits on the most filthy fucking red couch that we saw you clean and then empty down the kitchen sink on top of the kitchen cloth right next to your son's toothbrush. Not a care in the fucking world, because you just don't know. You're not aware that you are the bully as well, by the way, Katie. Speaking to you from 2022, biggest bully online, Katie Joy Paulson. Has not changed. Round and around and around we go. Everyone's the fucking problem, but not you. Never you. Oh my goodness, never Katie. Mother of the fucking year. Let's hear that from your son. Or will he just say, go away, mom, go away? Yeah. Shows the bond.
Exactly is hate speech, because in doing, like, being on YouTube, you hear that a lot. There are instances of people that are deplatformed and the platform will claim it's for using hate speech. But what exactly is hate speech? Generally, hate speech is speech that demeans on the basis of race, ethnicity, gender, religion, age, disability, or any other similar ground. Is hateful, but the proudest boast. Hold on, this is a quote. It's offensive or bigoted speech that is directed towards someone on the basis of race, ethnicity, gender, religion, age, disability, sexual orientation, etc. A hate crime. This is an important distinction too. Hate itself is not a crime. We put it out there.
Right.
As someone who is gay, I am fully aware and I accept, and I go through my day knowing that there are people who do not like me.
She just get up and walk away. What's over there? Is there a table? Is she charging her phone? Katie, why didn't you give warning? I'll be back in a minute. I guess it was very quick. But hate isn't a crime, Katie. Did you hear that? Hate isn't a crime. Even though there's no hate here, you believe you have haters, but if you had self-awareness, the hate that you feel is for yourself, because around and around and around you go and nothing fucking changes. I can't imagine being the same person. That is stuck in hell, in my opinion. I can't imagine never growing. I can't imagine being the same person I was at school. Oh my God. I can't imagine being the same person I was yesterday, actually. You know, fuck. Human evolution stopped with you and the brains and the peas and the. Okay, let's watch you sit down in your swivel chair.
Or, you know, for whatever reason, they don't like the fact that I like other men. So they're never going to, you know, warm up to me. It's one of those things. Like, I go through my day-to-day knowing that. For the purposes of collecting statistics, the FBI has defined a hate crime as a criminal offense against a person or property motivated in whole or in part by the offender's bias against race, religion, disability, sexual orientation, ethnicity, gender, or gender identity. Hate crimes, which can also encompass color or national origin, include violent acts against a person or property, violation of civil rights, conspiracy, or certain true threats or acts of intimidation. The Supreme Court has upheld laws that either criminalize these acts or impose a harsher punishment when it can be proven that the defendant targeted the victim because of the victim's race, ethnicity, or beliefs. Now, the case that sticks out to me the most is Matthew Shepard. Do you remember that?
Oh God, yes. Yes. Oh my God, that was horrible.
Yeah, and that sort of, I think, went a long way in speeding up sort of these laws and protections and the thing with. I
still can imagine him.
Yeah.
Tied to that fence.
Yeah, it was not. I don't want to. If you don't know what we're talking about, look it up because it's important. It's really thinking. Watch the latest videos. See what your ex is having for lunch on Instagram. Like, different minds create these things. Being different defines who we are as a people. It is the cornerstone of the beauty of life. If we were all the same, if we all thought the same, if we all believed the same, if we all dressed the same, if we all loved the same, imagine how stagnant things would be. Imagine how boring things would be, how bland things would be, how we wouldn't be able to advance. Being different, thinking different, doing different, loving different is part of the human experience. And thankfully, there seems to be a trend where the what did Martin Luther King say, the arc of history? It's sort of beginning to bend back towards right and justice. People are dropping their fear of people who are gay. We no longer discriminate or segregate based on the color of your skin. There's no longer a white water fountain or a black water fountain. We drop these barriers and we embrace people for people, and we benefit. So you can't ever take for granted as the story with the police officer at the beginning of this, you can't ever take for granted the ability for these hateful people to get into offices of power or offices where in an emergency, in an instance of cyberbullying or bullying or a hate crime, what he said from a law enforcement officer, what he said from that pulpit was a hate crime. And this is supposed to be the person that we turn to stop that sort of thing. So be aware of, especially in this election, these next couple elections are vital. We have to be.
Katie doesn't understand what he's saying. She's just nodding away like she gets it. Yes, people are allowed to be different. People are allowed to have different perspectives that go against yours, Katie. People live different lives than you, which makes their perspective a lot more broader than fucking just funeral waiting room, tunnel vision eyes, you know? I don't think you perceive things, because how can you? You don't sense boundaries. You don't sense danger. You actually push and push and push and create this big thing, but then sit back and go, I didn't cause that. Like, I can't imagine living that life, being so switched off to my own actions and what I'm causing and what I'm doing. And then pointing my finger back at people and saying it's you and thinking that I'm right. That is really fucking sad, Katie. Shit. And you think that you are sitting online every time you go online and you talk and talk and talk, that you just look amazing? Not in like your physical. I'm not talking physical appearance. I'm talking credibility. I'm talking your statute. Oh, fuck. I wish I knew what word I was trying to say. But people look at you as a joke. Yes, Katie, that's the reality, because you don't take your business serious. So why should we take you serious? You spew information with no context and then try and backstep and go blah, 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 all this with your lies. But we out here, we don't need to lie to ourselves. We don't need to convince ourselves. We're not sitting here every day lying. We're not sitting here every day thinking about you. Round and round and round in our head with this fucking hate boner every night. Getting off, because that's what makes my adrenaline rush, just getting riled up about Katie Joy. No, because I don't have that extreme emotion for you. I see a woman that is mentally unwell, that needs help, whose husband isn't helping her, doesn't see the signs. You've been spiraling since 2019. I haven't seen you one day just not, you know, it just keeps going down and down and down, and your husband still will not, he'll still say everything's fine. You've got no family, no friends, no one looking out for you. You're a fucking alone woman. And you are doing so much fucking damage. And it feels like reporting you online is not doing anything. I don't understand these platforms because there's this huge mental illness responsibility. You would think, like, I looked into it with YouTube because I was going to do a video, and I was wondering, does YouTube have any fucking responsibility for the people that they, you know, have partnership with? And they don't. Because there's like some third party, like, we'll have to go through it. Like, I'll have to read it online, but basically when they sign the contract, the responsibility comes from them, and YouTube does not, like, the responsibility comes from the creator, not YouTube. And also the advertisements, like, it's up to them to see the wrong and not want to advertise. And it's just YouTube so distance itself from any responsibility. There's a huge, I reckon YouTube has probably, like, Facebook has the ability, Instagram has the ability, like, to drive people into a dark depression. And then there's people that are content creators that have mental illness that is not being treated, and they're causing further harm to the vulnerable people out here. And yeah, maybe it is our responsibility to stop ourselves from watching it. But then, you know, what if you are in a good cause trying to go, this woman needs to be fucking taken off everywhere? But then I worry that if she's off every platform, we'll have no radar. You know, when Janelle got removed from MTV, we had no, like, you know, to see how the kids are going. But thank God she got her own YouTube channel. But I can't even watch Janelle anymore. Janelle is like a flat line compared to you, Katie. I don't know. And that's not my adrenaline peaking with you. That is just, I don't know. I feel, I know I've always wanted to get through to you, but I know now that you're a narcissist. I'm never going to change. So I'm going to try with your douchebag husband, try and get his, you know, mind away from the guitars for a minute. Does he even love you? Does he even care for you? In my opinion, no. But how can he when you are the reason that he can't get sober, Katie? He's tried to be sober and you will not put down the fucking booze. And it's just detrimental. Like, if you ever watch Celebrity Rehab, it's like critical for the partner, the spouse, to also give up alcohol, to want the best for your husband, but you don't. You want the best for Katie. Okay, bully. I think we might end it here. I might link, I'll link it down below. You can go check it out. Should I just feel like if I press play, it's just going to be the Kyle show. And you know what, Kyle, can I just say something if you're listening? You come at life with such a, you've let the bullies like consume you from when you were bullied for being gay or whatever, but you've let that consume you. So now that anyone that comes at you, you feel like that's got to do with because you're gay rather than other actions. It's just my opinion. Oh gosh, you two. Also, yeah, I don't know. I don't think I like your chart and the way that it, you know, rotates like that. But I am really hungry for some cinnamon fucking toasty crunch. Is that got cereal in it, or is that just the box? Probably just the box. No one would let cereal rot like that, would they? Do you reckon Katie's tried it?
Be careful of who we're voting in office, what the people in our government are doing. High school and the 10-year reunion comes around and you start remembering things. Those instances, don't be a dick, and life will be good. Don't be a dick.
Yes, don't be a dick.
Okay, Katie, always a pleasure to see you. I hope that you don't get any. I hope you don't get any more suits or anything like that.
Oh, it's every day of my life.
Yeah.
I always feel like if I'm pissing someone off, I'm doing my job right. So
That's right. Just do it.
If me, a measly little YouTuber with 4,500 like subscribers, and my column that gets maybe 500,000 views on a good month, if I can piss people off that have millions of views a day, I'm doing something right.
Own it, girl. Well, we will be back. We'll be back tomorrow at 8 p.m. For opinionated.
I'm doing my job right. So
that's right. Just do it.
I'm doing my job right. So
that's right. Just do it.
If me, a measly little YouTuber with 4,500 like subscribers, and my column that gets maybe 500,000 views on a good month, if I can piss people off that have millions of views a day, I'm doing something right.
Own it. Own it, girl. Well,
Katie, own it. Well, you do have colored hair, so are you a troll? I think you are. I think that is the motto for a troll. If I can piss people off, I'm doing something right. Do you just congratulate yourself every day? I bet you do. Do you do this happy dance? Oh, should we watch it again? Yes. No, we won't, but should we? Yes.
I'm doing my job right. So
that's right. Just do it.
If me, a measly little YouTuber with 4,500 like subscribers, and my column that gets maybe 500,000 views on a good month, if I can piss people off that have millions of views a day, I'm doing something right.
Own it. Own it, girl. Well,
and that right there is exactly what I wanted, to pause it in the moment. The beautiful shot of the woman punching the air like she fucking is the troll, king of the trolls. Katie, I'm doing the dance too, but I feel like I might be a bit, well, I normally look like Unko, but compared to you, I feel like I look awesome dancing in my chair. Okay, is everyone else dancing in their chair? Are we doing arms up right now? Is everyone punching the invisible ceiling? Katie, you are just loving it. Fuck, I hate that it's a little box. Let me just come down. Oh, it's a bit smelly. Let's just bring it back to me. Oh, thank God we survived that. God. Okay, did we learn anything? That we're still on the carousel from hell. Well, she was kind of rational. I don't know. She said a lot of things that, Katie, I'm going to make sure that you watch this video, okay? I think you need to rewatch, relearn, regroup, reassess the importance. And you know what? Like, if you want to do, hate boner for Molly, just keep it on your nonsense page. No sense. Is it no sense? Oh no, it's like nonsense. Nonsensical. So just do it over there. First time in your life you've got things right. And then just do without a crystal ball, like you're a normal person with a business, and then you can get your hate boner shit over on your other page. And then just don't make them go together, because no one wants to watch this shit anymore. I'm so fucking tired. And you're losing so many subscribers. Should we check how many you're at? Or I did see that you've gone from 245 to 246. Is that the one that you brought? Because you try to buy 1,000 every month, but it doesn't do shit when you're losing 25, 35,000 at a time. That one is just so obvious now. Hang on, let's see. YouTube.com/without now I fucked myself up. Without a crystal. Have you ever You know, I had like, what's it called? Behind the crystal. It's not behind the crystal. Without a crystal ball. It's my favorite word, ball, because it dances. Yeah. Sometimes there are two and they're hanging from the roof.
They were helping Jana.
Hang on, we're not here for that. Oh, 240. Oh, you guys can't see. Well, here you go. 246. That's the one she added. Okay. Remember when it was 275, 280? Not long ago. I reckon it was last month. Okay, enough with Katie. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. Hit the like button. Subscribe. Oh, thanks so much to everyone that has hit the subscribe button. I really appreciate it. I'm enjoying this Katie train moving. We're no longer standing at the baggage claim because I did get off the train for a while. But now I got confidence, Katie, and that's something you don't have. I'm also very secure in who I am. I can't believe it. I'm heading towards this milestone. I'm having a total breakdown. My parents are finding this stage of my life to be the funniest. Yes, I'm about to turn 40. Well, not about to, but fuck, it feels Rocktober, the end of Rocktober. Yes, unfortunately, I'm a Scorpio like Katie. Can't believe she's a Scorpio, but she must be the hateful, stinging kind. Like I could never hurt. Yeah. I don't know where I went there. Oh, it's so good to see familiar names, everyone in there. Hope you guys all had a good chinwag in the chat. I tried to respond to a few, but, you know, okay, I was distracted totally by the dogs. Thanks so much. Yeah, guys, please take care. You know, don't let Katie affect you. That's, you have a choice. She doesn't. That's her life. It goes on and on and on, round and round. The one thing is, like, that's not our life, and we can step back, we can step out of it and take care of ourselves and go live our life. Live with our friends, you know, smile and have fun. But Katie doesn't get to do that. I just, you know, fucking wish the platforms would do something. Maybe eventually, but, you know, if people have been reporting and stuff since 2019. Okay. See you guys. Take care.